to become a millionaire in 1 year, if you think as one. There's a difference between wanting to be a millionaire and thinking like one. Because thinking like a millionaire is not about the car you drive or the house you live in. It's about the frequency you live on. You see, the millionaire mindset is a vibration. It's an energy that refuses to stay small. It's a decision made every morning that says, I will not let fear, doubt, or limitation control my destiny. Most people wait for proof before they believe. Millionaires believe before the proof appears. They see abundance in the invisible. They invest in ideas when others call them impossible. They act with conviction even when no one claps for them. You can become a millionaire in 1 year if you think as one every single day. Not for a week, not when it's convenient, but with relentless faith and discipline. Point 1, think abundance, not scarcity. Scarcity says there's not enough. Abundance says there's always a way. Your mind is either a garden or a graveyard. Whatever you plant there, fear or faith, lack or abundance, grows. Millionaire thinkers water their ideas. They don't speak of what's missing. They speak of what's possible. They don't chase money, they attract it because they think from a space of value, purpose, and contribution. Point 2, act before you feel ready. The truth is, no one ever feels 100% ready. But millionaires move anyway. They start with a seed and build the soil as they go. They trust that clarity will come after action. Waiting for the perfect time is how dreams die quietly. The millionaire mindset acts boldly, learns quickly, and adjusts wisely. Point 3, protect your energy like treasure. You cannot build an abundant life while keeping company with small minds. Surround yourself with dreamers, with doers, with those who speak the language of success. Millionaires don't gossip. They strategize. They don't complain. They create. They don't compete. They collaborate. And every day they guard their peace. Because energy is currency too. Point 4, master self-belief. If you want to become a millionaire, you must first believe you are worthy of that reality. Your subconscious mind only allows you to rise to the level of your self-worth. So affirm it daily. I am a magnet for success. I create wealth with wisdom. I deserve abundance because I bring value to the world. You cannot manifest what you secretly doubt. So build your belief first. The wealth will follow. Point 5, live in gratitude and vision. Gratitude is the gateway to expansion. When you appreciate what you have, you attract more reasons to be grateful for. And vision, that's your compass. See the millionaire version of yourself in your mind. Walk like them, think like them, speak like them, and soon enough, you will become them. You become a millionaire not when your bank account grows, but when your mindset does. Start thinking, speaking, and acting like the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. Because the moment you shift your thoughts, the world begins to rearrange itself to match your belief. So if you truly think, as a millionaire, with purpose, with gratitude, with courage. 1 year is not too long. In fact, it's just enough time for the universe to catch up with your vision. Think abundance, not scarcity, because everything in your life begins with how you see it. You can look at a closed door and see rejection, or you can look at it and see redirection. You can see lack, or you can see potential. You can see struggle, or you can see preparation. The choice is always yours. And that choice shapes your reality more than anything else. Most people spend their lives focusing on what they don't have. They repeat to themselves, I don't have enough money, enough time, enough support, enough luck. And in doing so, they program their minds to stay stuck. When you focus on lack, you attract more lack. When you think scarcity, your energy contracts. Your creativity shuts down. You stop seeing solutions and start seeing walls. Millionaires, however, are built on a different frequency. They train their minds to see opportunities where others see obstacles. They know that abundance is not about what's in the bank. It's about what's in the mind. When you think abundance, your thoughts expand, your vision sharpens, and your ideas multiply. You start to notice doors that others overlook, and you begin to walk through them with quiet confidence. Abundance is not a condition, it's a decision. It's a conscious act of saying, I will not live in fear of not having enough. It's waking up every morning with gratitude for what you already have, while holding a powerful vision for what's still to come. Because when you're thankful, you open the flow for more. Gratitude and abundance are partners. They travel together. Scarcity and fear are too. The one you choose determines the direction of your life. A scarcity mindset tells you there's not enough to go around. It whispers, if someone else wins, you lose. But that's an illusion. There's more than enough success, more than enough wealth, and more than enough opportunity for everyone who is willing to claim it. The universe doesn't run out of abundance. Only people run out of belief. When you think abundance, you stop competing and start creating. You stop chasing money and start attracting it. You begin to see wealth not as something to grab, but something to grow. You focus on adding value, on solving problems, on lifting others as you rise. And that energy always comes back multiplied. That's the secret millionaires understand. They give more, serve more, create more, and that's why they receive more. Thinking abundance is also about the language you use. The words that leave your mouth are the instructions you give to your future. If you keep saying, I can't afford that, your mind believes it. But if you start saying, how can I afford that? Your mind begins to search for answers. The shift is small, but powerful. Abundant thinkers speak possibility. They speak growth. They speak faith into their goals. Every word becomes a building block for the reality they're creating. The mind is a magnet. When you hold thoughts of lack, you attract more lack. When you hold thoughts of abundance, you attract more abundance. This is not magic, it's mindset. You see what you believe. If you believe you live in a world full of opportunity, your eyes will always find it. But if you believe life is unfair, that others have it easier, that you never get a break, then even blessings will pass right by you, unnoticed. Thinking abundance also means detaching from comparison. The scarcity mindset thrives on comparison, measuring your worth against someone else's highlight reel. But the abundant mindset knows there's no competition, only creation. You don't need to be better than anyone. You just need to be better than who you were yesterday. There's room for everyone to shine. Someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. It's proof that it's possible. Start to reprogram your thoughts. Each time you catch yourself thinking, I don't have enough, replace it with, I already have everything I need to start. When you say, I can't do this, change it to, I'm learning how to do this. Every thought of limitation can be transformed into a thought of empowerment. That's how abundance grows. From small mental shifts that change the way you move, act, and decide. The truth is, abundance is not about money, it's about mindset. A poor thinker with money will lose it, but a wealthy thinker without money will create it. The millionaire mindset is born in the way you handle small things, the gratitude you feel, the generosity you show, the patience you practice. When you think from a place of abundance, even challenges become blessings. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every delay becomes divine timing. You become magnetic to success when your thoughts align with expansion. You start to see ideas everywhere, in conversations, in problems, in quiet moments of reflection. The world opens up when your mind does. And that's why those who think abundance move faster, achieve more, and live freer. Because they stopped waiting for proof that life can be good, they decided to believe it first. So if you truly want to rise, train your mind every day. When fear comes, remind yourself, there's always enough. When doubt comes, remind yourself, there's always a way. When you feel small, remember, abundance is your birthright. The more you think it, the more you'll feel it. The more you feel it, the more you'll live it. Think abundance, not scarcity, and watch how the world starts giving you more of what you believe you deserve. Act before you feel ready, because if you wait for the perfect time, you wait forever. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment when everything aligns, when all fears disappear, and when every detail is certain. Life doesn't wait for readiness, it rewards movement. Every person who has achieved greatness began before they were fully prepared. They stepped into the unknown with trembling hands but a determined heart, and that single act of courage set everything else in motion. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is simple. Achievers move. They act even when their minds whisper doubts. They start when they're scared, when the plan is unclear, when resources are few. Because they understand that clarity comes from action, not contemplation. You can plan for years, study every possibility, wait for every sign, but nothing will replace the power of simply beginning. Most people hold themselves back because they think they need confidence first. But confidence doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's built through experience. Every small action you take teaches your brain that you're capable. Every time you step forward despite fear, you build trust in yourself. Confidence is not the cause of action, it's the result of it. Millionaire thinkers know this truth well. They don't overthink, they execute. They move with faith, not fear. They understand that mistakes are not proof of failure, they're proof of movement. Every successful person you admire started with more questions than answers. But they also knew that waiting for certainty is how dreams die quietly. They'd rather fail fast and learn forward than stand still in hesitation. When you act before you feel ready, you invite growth. Because growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens in the stretch. It happens in that uncomfortable space where you're unsure, where things might fall apart, but you move anyway. You stumble, you learn, you rise, and in that process, you become unshakable. You start to realize that readiness isn't something you wait for. It's something you create through action. Waiting for the perfect moment kills momentum. Think about it. How many ideas have you talked yourself out of because the timing wasn't right? How many opportunities slipped away because you wanted to prepare just a little longer? The truth is, while you're waiting to feel ready, someone else is already doing it scared, and that's why they win. The universe responds to movement. Once you take a step, paths appear that you couldn't see from the starting point. It's like walking through fog. You won't see the whole road, but as soon as you move forward, the next few feet become clear. That's how success works. You don't need to know every detail. You just need the courage to take the next step. Acting before you feel ready also builds resilience, because when you're in motion, you start learning through experience. You see what works, what doesn't, and you adapt. Every challenge teaches you something new about yourself. You stop fearing failure because you realize it's just feedback. A sign pointing you toward a better direction. People who wait for readiness fear mistakes. People who act before readiness use mistakes as stepping stones. And here's the thing, the fear never fully disappears. Even the most successful people still feel it. The difference is they've learned to walk with it. They don't let fear paralyze them. They let it fuel them. They've learned that the presence of fear is not a signal to stop. It's proof that they're growing. When you act with faith instead of fear, you shift your entire energy. You begin to trust that things will unfold as they're meant to. You start to understand that every action, no matter how small, carries momentum. A simple phone call, a single post, one bold conversation, these tiny actions often create the biggest breakthroughs. But they can only happen when you stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion. It's a mask fear wears to sound reasonable. It says, you just need more time, or you should wait until you're more skilled. But what it really means is, stay where you are, don't take risks, play safe. And if you listen, you'll wake up years later realizing that the right time never came, because it never does. The people who transform their lives, the ones who rise quickly, are those who act while others hesitate. They move while others are thinking. They understand that even a small, imperfect action beats a perfect plan that never begins. You can always adjust your direction later, but you can't adjust what never starts. Momentum is powerful. Once you take the first step, the second becomes easier. The more you move, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more confident you feel. And suddenly the fear that once seemed enormous begins to shrink. You start realizing that the scariest part was never the action, it was the waiting. Acting before you feel ready also sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind that you trust yourself. You're saying, I may not know everything yet, but I believe I can figure it out. That belief activates creativity, resourcefulness, and strength you didn't even know you had. The universe meets you halfway, but only when you move first. So take that step, the one you've been delaying. Launch the idea, write the message, apply for the opportunity, call the person, start the business, whatever it is. Do it before you feel ready, because readiness is an illusion and action is the truth. The life you want, the success you imagine, the abundance you dream of, they're all waiting beyond hesitation. They're waiting for that one brave decision that says, I'm going to start now. Once you act, life begins to unfold in ways you could never predict.